driven from Georgetown, Texas, near Austin to El Paso to celebrate Christmas with us, and we're driving back and just happened to be on the road at the same time. And so we're honking the horn and rolling down the window and screaming, "Hey, Tia Patricia, it's us!" And she's waving back, and her boyfriend, who's a real type A personality, is like steadily looking at the road, will not acknowledge us. We pass them, going a little bit faster than they were, and end up at a truck stop to fill up. And who is in line buying beef jerky with us but Tia Patricia? She happened to stop at the same truck stop. But as I was gassing up, there was this amazing thing that happened. I saw these two families on either side of a gas pump. And the one family had everything in their life in their truck. So they had their dogs, they had a cat, they had their belongings, they had their clothes, and I overheard their conversation. They're trying to get back home, which is Arizona, and a little bit warmer than Odessa was this morning at 27 degrees, snow spitting down over the windshield of their car. But they didn't have enough money to get there. They had enough money to put gas in the car so that they could turn the engine on and heat the car when they needed to stay warm, because that is where they were living. And they were waiting for the next month to start, when they were going to be able to have a little bit more money and then be able to get to their destination. But they were just reliant on that little bit of gasoline that they had to keep themselves warm in their car in Odessa. And the family on the other side of the pump, in exchanging this conversation, and the family who was living out of their car didn't ask for money, didn't beg, didn't say, "Could you help us out?" It was just the nice, friendly conversation that passes between two people who are filling up. That other family, who was on their way to another destination, took out what money they had and gave it to that first family that was living out of their car. And it hit home for me that if you give a Texan the opportunity to do right by or do good for his or her fellow Texan, they will do that every single time. The last time we were in San Angelo, we were supposed to continue west to visit Odessa. This was back in August. And we turned our truck around because it was August 26th, and Harvey had just hit Rockport and Port Aransas and Port Arthur and Beaumont and Houston, and we wanted to go back to where people needed help and where we thought we might be able to contribute to something better. And along the way, we met Texan after Texan, and never asked party identification, never asked what country they were born in, never asked where they were from, who were literally doing everything they could to help complete strangers whose homes had been flooded out, whose every worldly possession had been destroyed or carried off, people who literally risked their lives, and in some tragic cases lost their lives, to help those lives around theirs. I think about that. I think about that exchange at the gas station today. I think about the beautiful faces that I see here in San Angelo, those that I met earlier in Rankin, Texas, those that I met in Odessa, in Reagan. It gives me so much hope and so much confidence that we are going to be okay. And there is some truth that in our very darkest hours, the things that are dark for me that I just described, the Muslim ban, the walls, the press is the enemy of the people, destroying the institutions that have made this country strong for 230 years. In those darkest hours, the very best comes out of us. I'm confident of that. I see it, and I know it. I have this perspective from the last 9 months incessantly traveling Texas, every part of Texas, meeting with and listening to and connecting with everyone that I possibly can, whether or not they're going to support us in this race. It just could not be more important right now for us to be able to find ways to work together.